Good morning, 1 million cups. How's everybody doing today?
Great. Doing well, John.
Hold on, we'll try that again. How's everybody doing today? Great. Okay, good, that's better. If everybody could grab a seat, grab some coffee, we're gonna get started here. My name is John, I'm one of your organizers. We've got Nicole in the back, Tyler, Caitlin, Courtney. It's going to be good. So what we're going to do is we're going to have Jomper present here in a minute. Unfortunately, our second presenter had to cancel on us very early this morning. So what we're going to do is we're going to have her go a little bit longer, open it up to a lot more questions than we normally do, and we should get out of here a little bit early. With that being said, I'd like to introduce our expert panel. If you would like to intro yourselves, please.
Is Ben Gruber. I work at the Rainier Institute at the University of Missouri, Kansas City. I am the program coordinator for our eScholars program, a entrepreneurial education program. And thank you very much for having me today.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, good. Just want to do an energy check. I'm Jordan Williams. I have the privilege and honor of owning my own neckwear company called Keith Cravat. So I'm a fashionpreneur, so I'm excited to see what you bring to the table today. Again, I own a neckwear company called Keith Cravat, and we specialize in custom and handmade neckties and bow ties, ascots, and turtlenecks. Shameless plug. All right, good.
I love the button, by the way. It looks good. So anyways, also, if you have not done so already, please take out your phones. Check in on the 1 Million Cups app. If you do not have it, please download it and check in. You can get more info about the presenters. So with that being said, we're going to introduce Brittany with Jomper, which is described as jumpsuits and rompers for rad chicks. Take it away, Brittany. Woo!
Woo. Can everyone hear me okay? Awesome. Well, thank you for showing up. I know that's half of it in the startup world. So my name's Brittany Weltner. I'm the founder of Jomper. So what is Jomper? It's a functional jumpsuit or romper. For those of you who don't know what a jumpsuit is, it's a onesie with long pants, and then a romper is the short ones. So we haven't made the short ones yet. So my story is pretty wild. I'm from Kansas City, but I wanted to move to San Francisco. Because I didn't feel creatively challenged here, unfortunately. I was in the advertising world, but I was just thirsty for something a little more. So I went to San Francisco, and everyone said, you're not gonna get a job at an ad agency, like, good luck, you better beef up your portfolio. And I was like, oh, this is brutal. But that was just the reality of San Francisco. It's just a very harsh, competitive environment, and I learned that really quickly when I went to visit. So if you look at this bus, it's pretty funny. I went to San Francisco and I see this logo on the bus. And as a designer, I was like, wow, that's a really cool logo. And then I almost got hit by the bus. So that was just a glimpse of San Francisco. So I thought, wow, this logo design's really cool. I'm gonna capture that and make a logo for my portfolio. And then maybe the people in San Francisco will hire me. So this was kind of an early version of the logo. And I thought, you know, the bus name is Muni, that's the transportation there, but I chopped off the M and I called it Uni. And I'm like, okay, now I have this cool logo in my portfolio, but now I need a story to go with the logo, so when I'm in an interview, I have something to talk about. So I thought, what could Uni be? And I was like, oh, Uni, a unitard. That's, you know, that just makes sense. And I'm a big yoga fan, so I thought a yoga unitard would be really cool. I would actually wear that to yoga. So keeping with the story, I moved to San Francisco. I get a job at a milkshake company of all places, which ironically, their distribution center is in Kansas City. So anyways, I'm at this awesome milkshake company. It's called For Real. Have you guys ever had For Real? Oh, so good. Like, I had like a milkshake a day. It was pretty ridiculous. So when I was working there, I was the lead designer. So I was doing a lot of user experience design, social media design, like the brand design. So it was really cool because I got to see a medium-sized company scale and help them do that with design. So back to the story. Part of California and kind of the startup lifestyle is you really get to have a balanced work-life balance. So I would go to work, and in the middle of the day, I would go to yoga. So I'm upside down in yoga class, and I'm wearing a t-shirt because it was comfortable, and I'm doing a headstand, and my shirt keeps flying up and hitting me in the face. And I'm like, this is really annoying, like not very zen. If only I had that yoga unitard, this would be a lot easier. So that was the first problem, or the second problem that I started to solve. And I solved it by just wearing a jumpsuit to work. And the cool thing about it was I could just wear the jumpsuit to work, I didn't have to change, and I could wear it to yoga. The problem with the jumpsuit that I was wearing was it didn't have pockets, and it didn't smell great at the end of the day, which I know it's kind of gross, but that was just the reality. So I go, okay, there's really maybe something here. You know, I was in this, San Francisco is such a startup environment. If you like have an idea, everyone just encourages you to go do it. So I looked at the market, and there were two yoga unitards that I found. One was way too tight, and one was Lululemon, which you guys all probably know Lululemon. They're, you know, the innovators of athleisure and, you know, fashionable apparel, fashionable and functional apparel. So I go to try on this this jumpsuit at Lululemon, and first of all, like, I would never wear it. It had flowers everywhere. I was like, this is disgusting. And I put it on, and I'm in the dressing room looking at myself, and I'm like, ugh, like, this does not fit my body type. It just did not flatter my body. And then I try to, you know, take it off and put it on, and it was just like so complicated. I'm like sitting here, like, how do I even do this? Not your ideal user experience. I like to call it a fashion user experience. So getting to the problem, chicks love jumpsuits. Like, if you ask any woman, she's like, yeah, I love jumpsuits. But the problem is, one, it does not fit my body type. It doesn't look good on my shape. So they immediately get turned off and don't want to look for a jumpsuit because it's really hard to find one. The second problem is functionality. So I think of functionality the same as user experience. Like, how easy is it to wear this jumpsuit? How easy is it to go to the bathroom? This, believe it or not, is the #2 problem for jumpsuit design. Women, oh, yeah, heyo. So, okay, so that was, what did you even say, heyo? Oh, whatever, okay. So did a lot of research with girls in San Francisco, and I would talk to like every Uber driver and Lyft driver that was ever there. And I'm like, oh, do you like jumpsuits? They're like, yeah, but it just sucks to go to the bathroom. So I thought, okay, what if we did a hidden magnetic butt flap? And I'm not gonna like demonstrate, but that's what that is. So I started just thinking like functionality, how do we make it better? So all the jumpsuits are really easy to take on and off. They have, you know, adjustable magnetic snaps. So it's just an easy experience. Yeah, so you can see that. The third is lifestyle. So I think Kansas City really values like lifestyle, really values family, work-life balance. And San Francisco, they claim they value that, but it's not really the case. Everyone's just working all the time. They might squeeze in yoga. So lifestyle for me consists of 3 things. It's work or school. It's, you know, working out or health or, you know, mindfulness, like kind of your me time. And then it's going out or socializing. So that's kind of the 3 aspects of life. And the jumpsuits on the market, Lululemon actually, you know, I'll go back. Lululemon advertised their product in 2014 as the party onesie. And it word for word said, work out, and go out in one functional piece. And I was like, that's a great ad, but doesn't fit my body. So Jomper has been a 3-year journey, maybe even 4 years if you count the whole logo thing. So again, what is Jomper? It's a functional jumpsuit or romper. So it's literally, the name is its own category. It's a mashup of those 2 onesies. So believe it or not, I didn't just go out and start making these jumpsuits after I came up with the idea, because I didn't have a fashion background. I studied design and advertising. But I knew how to make an app. So I started just making an app. And so this top slide, you'll see, it was originally built to build your own. So you choose the top, choose the bottom, and I thought this could solve the body issue, because they can go and create their own. They know what looks good on their top. They know what looks good on their bottom. Then they can choose their color or whatever. But the technology wasn't really there yet to do this. So I was pitching my little app, my fashion app, at every pitch event possible. I go to this one event with, it was a panel event, and Heidi Zach, she's the founder of Third Love, and they reinvented the bra. Basically what they did was, they did like half sizes for the bra. They just kind of innovated the bra a little bit further. And I go, Heidi, I have this really cool idea. I want to make functional jumpsuits where the girl takes a selfie and then it 3D scans her body, takes all of her measurements, then she chooses the top and bottom, and then some magical 3D printer prints it, and there you go, there's your jumper. And she goes, honey, that's a great idea, but you're living way too far in the future. Just build the product. Because she's an MIT grad, and she started out doing kind of more of a techie 3D scanning app for the bra, and she said it was really difficult to train people how to use a new app. So she said, instead, Britt, just focus on the product. So I was like, okay, I don't know anything about fashion, but I do have this internal hustle. And so I just made it happen. So I had a good 2 years of product development. So these are the 5 products that we have. We have the power suit, which this is the original. Well, no, this isn't the original. This was basically the original power suit that I started wearing to work. And I loved it. It was great, athletic material, easy to transition from work to going out. I could wear it to yoga. The problem was the bathroom issue, so I continued to innovate. And I think the next one was the yoga-alls, and I thought, okay, this one's easy. I can take it on and off, go to the bathroom. So I just kept pushing the product, iterating on the design, until I finally felt comfortable with, okay, we have 5 different styles. They can fit 5 different body types. And it's a real line. Like, every time I would try to go to a fashion show, they'd be like, you can't show one power suit. Like, you have to have a whole line. So I just kept pushing until I felt good about it. To be 100% honest, I didn't really feel confident in the product until last weekend when I picked up these final color samples. So it's really been an exciting week for me because, you have it in black and white, you think it's right, but you get it back from the factory and you're like, oh, they forgot the magnetic snaps. Like, this is terrible. So anyways, who's the market? The market is on-the-go high school and college girls, or chicks. I like to call them chicks. Just has a little bit of an attitude. So where do they shop? 80% of high school and college females shop at Urban Outfitters. I know this because I've done lots of surveys. The other market is the Instagram influencer market. Right now, it's a $1 billion market, just shopping on Instagram alone and hitting these influencers. One of my friends is an influencer in the back. What's up, Aaron? Thanks for coming. Anyway, and it's growing to be a $5 billion market by 2020. Right now, people are inspired by Instagram, and they're starting to shop on it, and it's just going to become more of a thing. Amazon, no surprise, huge market for retail. 29%, they have 29% of the fashion market. The problem with Amazon, and I don't know if it's an actual problem, but they don't go on Amazon to just shop. Like, you're not gonna go on Amazon and just browse like pink sweaters. You're gonna go to Amazon because you want something very specific. So that's actually good for Jumper because it is a very specific product. Competition. So these are all brands that make onesies currently. And how I kind of divided it up was fit, functionality, so user experience, the 3-point lifestyle, so are they hitting work, working out, and going out in one piece, content, so their brand content, low price point, which I think is important. I definitely want to Henry Ford this jumpsuit, but that takes time. And then, are they in the high school and college market? So, let's see, Chubbies, they're my favorite. They're so fun. I actually almost worked for them. I applied for a graphic designer role, and I was like, actually, I want to be like your CMO/creative director. And they're like, well, we don't need one. I was like, damn it, okay. Well, I'm going to go make these jumpsuits. But anyways, we're still friends, and one of the investors in Chubbies is actually right now my lead investor. So she's been a really great mentor, and I feel really lucky that our competition could potentially be a strategic partner. Outdoor Voices is another really big athletic market, or brand. They're more focused on athletic stuff, like I would never wear that to work. It's just way too tight. It's white. It just doesn't really fit my lifestyle. One Piece, they've been around since 2007, but they look like pajamas. I would never wear that to work. And then Amazon, you know, their competitive advantage is clearly the price point, and they have all the people. So what is our functional advantage? I think I've really hit this, but it's fit, function, and lifestyle. I also think our brand is definitely a point of difference. Since I have an advertising background, I'm able to quickly create content, make it fun, make it really engaging. Our engagement is about 42% on email, and it ranges on social media, but it's above average. It's definitely like 35 to 42% per post. Go to market. So I definitely want to do a traditional like brick and click for retail. I think that's really important. The target that we're hitting, high school and college girls, they're actually part of this bigger target market, which is called the pivotals. And pivotals are inspired by experiences, not necessarily things. So they really like this kind of minimalist lifestyle. So if you have one thing that can get them to, you know, their on-the-go lifestyle, that's a great thing. So it's a 3-year plan in my eyes. 2018, we'll start local, do boutiques here. We're already getting traction. We've talked to Halls. We've talked to, who else? There's one on the plaza, Fortuity. So we're talking about a handful of local boutiques just to get the product out there. And then we're gonna launch on Indiegogo, which is the same thing as Kickstarter, but Indiegogo started in San Francisco. I really like the founder. It's a woman. Just want to go with them. And then Instagram. We'll sell on Instagram. 2019, and our projected revenue for 2018 is $1 million. I think that's really rational based on what our competitors did in the first year. Specifically, I don't know if you guys saw the Romp Him campaign. Anyone seen the Romp Him? Okay, we got a couple. Romp Him is the male romper. It was just hilarious, and it was just like all over the news. They raised 350K, or they did 350K in revenue in 1 month. So I think for us to do $1 million in a year is really realistic. 2019, I really want to rapidly expand. I want to go to Urban Outfitters, because that's where girls shop. And then I want to have our online be Instagram, or you know, our website. 2020, I would love to go big, go global, have a couple keynote stores in big cities. Doesn't have to be global. I'd be happy with just the US, but it'd be really cool to have some stores where girls could come in, you tell the story. You know, maybe at that point we're starting to think about wearable tech integration. That's kind of where I see the future. If you think of like Iron Man, you know, maybe I have like a 3D, or not 3D, sorry, some kind of wearable devices that make my day easier. And then I want to be on Amazon in 3 years. So that's kind of my go-to-market strategy. There are a lot of problems with this. It's expensive to go to market. I've been bootstrapping for 3 years, and it's not easy. I've been doing freelance and bootstrapping. My poor dad in the back, you know, I'm living with him right now. So, you know, it's not easy, and I think Indiegogo will be a great test of the market, like a really great way for us to validate this quickly. But even then, even if we say we hit our goal of 500K on Indiegogo, we're gonna need capital to do the next batch and to really make enough jumpsuits to get into Urban Outfitters or to even sell on our website. You just have to have capital. So I think a rational number to raise is $3 million for the first year. That's just based on what competitors have raised. Chubby's raised that in the first year, and they're probably the most similar. Outdoor Voices, that athletic white onesie that you saw, they raised $30 million, which I think is insane. If you raise that much, like, good luck hitting your goals. But anyways, good for them, but I think it's a huge number, and I definitely don't want to put myself in that situation. I want to, you know, shoot bullets before firing cannonballs. What else? So yeah, I think that's pretty much the problems with going to market is raising capital. So this is my contact. If you want to get in touch with me, I'm on Instagram all the time, heavy user. It's my email, my phone number. Thank you so much for your time. I know I went a lot over, but I just really appreciate this opportunity. So thank you.
Thank you, Brittany. All right, expert panel, if you want to go ahead and take it away.
Hey, Britt.
Hey.
Nice presentation. I have a lot of questions for you, so I'm gonna try to keep it to a minimum. But when it comes to your brand, I think you have an awesome product. I don't really wear jumpsuits, but to find out that this is available, I do hear the complaints about women saying that they have to undo the entire jumpsuit just to use the restroom. So shout out to you for that innovative approach. That sounds really, really something like people can buy into. I noticed you said your market was from high school to college students, and then your price points, I believe, range from $49 to $150.
So price point is, right now it's $119, just because of economies of scale. We're selling, not that many right now. I would love to get it down to $59. That's ideal, but I just know that you're gonna have to sell a lot to do that to be profitable.
Now, are you already launched, or are you preparing to launch?
So we've done some soft launch, we've done some testing, we've sold a couple, and then iterated on the product. So, we have a live Instagram, but we don't have a buy button yet. I'm kind of waiting for Indiegogo to get our following, so everyone I know can be like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to do.
Okay. And what's your manufacturing process? Do you design these yourself, or they outsource?
Yes.
You do?
So I design them. I've had some help along the way, but just like my background in advertising and design has kind of helped me think through the process. My mom actually is really into fashion. She had her own fashion business, so that's been kind of a cool inspiration as well. So we're getting them produced right now in Colombia, South America. They actually make the material too, which is great because it's kind of like a one-stop show. I would love to move the production here though. So we're talking to Rightfully Sewn, which is a local organization. You're probably familiar with them. So yeah, I would love to have manufacturing here, but I don't know if they can produce, 1,000 to 10,000. So we're just figuring that out.
Got you. Shout out to Rightfully Sewn. I'm actually a council member over there.
How many can you guys make?
We'll talk.
Okay.
But I would really like to encourage you, because it seems like, to be honest, you're kind of all over the place when it comes to the market. Because when you talk about high school to college, that's a big market, and then you're priced at $119. That market really don't have that kind of, buying power. You know what I mean? So I think if anyone's paying $119, is someone who has disposable income. But high school to college, they're living off mom and dad income. Let's be real here. So I think that you may have to really consider, is that the market that you want to go into? I would want to encourage you to really think about the yoga market. I mean, that's a market probably not tapped into. Just imagine that you literally become the premier jumper or jumpsuit for the yoga business. That industry is growing. I think that'd be a really good market to tap into and just kind of scale. Because I think the cool thing about fashion is it's your product. You design it, and you can literally simplify what you do. And so competing with all the other people and, having all those different products is good, but it's going to be very challenging, I think. So I would encourage you to really think about the yoga market and how you can literally just take it over and just scale, partner with all the yoga instructors in town, figure out how do they become, anyone who buys a lesson from them, they get a jumpsuit. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
simplifying your process, because I think if you go into the high school and the college market, you're just going to find a lot of disappointment in sales, so to speak.
Okay. Thank you.
So I have a follow-up marketing question along those same lines. So I saw the immediate target market seems to be high school and college, but one of your brand premises is the work life, the fit function balance, and I don't imagine that the professional fit balance is really something that's on the mindset of most high schoolers or even a lot of college students. Is this something that you're planning on releasing in stages? What's the differentiation that you're doing between the way that you're targeting and then the products that you're offering for the younger demographic versus the older, more professional demographic?
Right. So what I learned just working in advertising and the tech world for 6 years was you always have a target market, which is a very specific target. And I would say our specific target is actually 17 to 20 years old. And the reason is that's a junior and senior in high school, that's a freshman and sophomore in college. So part of our go-to-market strategy, which I didn't really address, was the influencer and the brand ambassador. I would rather get them in high school because once they go to college, it's going to be an organic growth. They'll go to different places. So I really want to do a cool brand ambassador program. So we already have 10 girls that have signed up, that are excited, that want to go sell Jumper, which is great. But to answer your question, yeah, we have a niche target market, because when I was talking to Chubby's investor, she goes, who's your target market? Because originally my target market was working women when I was in San Francisco, and then I realized, no, it needs to be college because that fits the brand better. They're more likely to try something new. But when I was talking with this Chubby's woman, Alexa, she goes, you know, it might be interesting to get the high school female, because Chubby's and all these other brands already have the college and working women. So it's a point of difference to go younger, and it also fits our brand. I envision, you know, I give the example of the milkshake company. Their target market was millennials, you know, 18 to 24-year-olds. But the actual market, like who actually buys these for real milkshakes, is 4-year-olds to, well, they're not buying them, but they're drinking them, 4-year-olds to grandpas, you know? So you have your niche market, and then you have your actual market, who's actually gonna buy the product. So I think of it more of a lifestyle, on-the-go lifestyle. A college girl is on the go. She's constantly moving around. She's going from class to a social function to yoga class, just the same as a 30-year-old is going to work to yoga to socializing. Yeah.
A question right here.
Hi, Brett. Nice presentation. A couple of quick questions. One, is the app still being used?
So no, the app's not being used now, but it's definitely something I want to develop. I could quickly develop it. I see that as maybe year 2 or the end of year 1. But right now, I just want to focus on selling that product, and then we can get into the build your own.
Sure.
I think what's attractive about that is Amazon just came out 9 months ago with mass customization. So if you're the first to be with Amazon with a mass customization product, that could be really cool. And since we're so niche, I think that could be a really cool opportunity down the road.
Okay, second question, you mentioned you wanted to do $1 million in sales in 2018, and you're talking about raising about $3 million. Other than, you said other companies have done that. Other than that, do you have detailed plans on how to get to those numbers?
Yeah, perhaps we could talk after.
Question over here.
So building on that question, I want you to succeed so hard. I think you're awesome. We see a lot of really ambitious plans here at 1 Million Cups, but there's something going on with this where I'm like, no, I don't know, she may actually be able to do it. So my question for you is, when talking with an investor, what do you think your superpower is? So you mentioned you're an eternal hustler, but everyone says that, that's stupid. So what's really your superpower?
I agree. Everyone, you know, I actually went to this conference in San Francisco called HustleCon. I was like, this is so silly, but kind of awesome. So, oh my gosh, my superpower. I would say, you know, my background's being a creative, but I understand the business side. And I think if you can, like most creatives struggle with selling and the business side, but I think that's kind of my triple threat is I have the ability to create something and also, you know, understand the business strategy and how to talk to, you know, investors or other business people.
Brittany, I've got a question for you back here.
Sure, I love the idea. I love jumpers as well, and I love that you put pockets in them. But the 2 questions, how do you wash it, number 1? And 2, can we talk a little about the technical side of the butt flap? Because that is where rompers go very wrong.
Sure, okay, I love it. So the fabric is athletic material. It's, you know, like a polyester blend with spandex, you know, elastomeric yarn. So it's got a 4-way stretch. Technical, yeah, it's technical. So it's moisture wicking, it's stink proof, wrinkle free. You can machine wash it. I think that's it. But yeah, oh, moisture wicking. So we have some funny stuff on Instagram where it's like just water going everywhere. I want to do some cool like squirt gun kind of like silly ads. But anyways, yeah, so it's a good technical fabric. The hidden magnetic butt flap is really fun. I don't want to like, I'll just show you. So this one's actually lacking the magnets because the factory messed up, but that's okay, we'll get those on. So you literally just can pull it down. Like, it's that simple. So, but it's not like a gaping hole in the back. It's closed because of the magnetic snaps. Let's see, so yeah, they all have that. These are all different styles. And we tested it to make sure, you know, it can go over your hips, because there were definitely prototypes where I'm like, I can't pull it over my hips, and I don't even have big hips. Same thing on this one. The Yogarals, you know, it's stretchy enough, so it just pulls down. This one, the flare is kind of a work in progress, but it's low enough where, you know, you don't even need like the pull down. So, and then yeah, washing, like I recommend just like machine wash. You can hang dry. Like I just kind of throw it in the dryer, but if you're a perfectionist, maybe hang dry it. Might keep its color a little more or something.
I have a follow-up to that. When it comes to sizes, up here, Brittany.
Okay.
When it comes to sizes, is it one size fit all, or is it by large, extra small? Like, is this for anyone, or what?
Right. So when I first started making my prototype, I'm a size like 2 to 4, and it's stretchy enough where a size 10 could fit in it. It was a little tight, but she could fit in it because it was stretchy enough. But because jumpsuits are such a niche fit, I wanted 5 sizes. So we have extra small through extra large. So extra large fits, you know, 10 to 12, or maybe 12 plus. We need to test that a little more. That's something I'm working on right now, is kind of nailing that fit. But we definitely want it to appeal to, you know, any woman. And that will take time, but it's stretchy.
Mike Meyer has a question.
Wow, thanks. 2 questions. One, have you patented the magnetic flap, and is it patentable? Because I could see that being a licensing opportunity later. Then the second would be, do you really need 5 styles? Because with size and style, that's a lot of SKUs, especially to start out with. So.
Yeah. So yeah, I've definitely looked into the patent world. I have an awesome lawyer in San Francisco. She's actually a fashion tech specific lawyer, so she's been really great. It's expensive to patent. It's about $30K, so I don't have that right now. Once I do, I would love to patent it. So that's kind of where investment comes in. I would love to spend that on a patent. Same thing with the brand name, the fact that jumper is its own kind of category. If you look at any women's clothing website, there's a category jumpsuits and rompers, or dresses and rompers. So if you have this category with its trademark, that'd be really powerful. I agree, 5 SKUs is a lot. I just had already gone this far down the design process, so it's like, might as well sell them. I do think there's a strategic way to sell them, so maybe sell 3 in the beginning, and then release, you know, a couple. But the benefit of 5 styles is they do fit different body types. So I'm gonna do a photo shoot this weekend with different body types, and you can see like which style looks good on your body type. So it's kind of one of these things, if a woman comes to our site and she's like, you know, I'm a pear shape or I'm an apple shape, she'll know which jumpsuit's gonna look better on her body type.
Brittany, I got a question for you back here.
I don't even know if this is much of a question, more just a comment. But I was sitting back here and I took a picture and texted my wife and I was like, hey, this chick's got a cool idea, check this out. And my wife texted back, so as you're showing jumpers and rompers, my wife at our wedding, her bridesmaids wore jumpers.
What?
And that was really cool. She got a lot of cool feedback on that, but my wife, she obviously wasn't wearing a jumper, but she's 5'0", but she had friends that were 6 foot. And so we saw that they don't all fit the same person the same way. But then my wife texted back and said that her mom used to play a lot of golf, and she used to play or wear jumpers playing golf as well. So I know that you're told to condense your niche, but just throwing a couple ideas out there is I don't know, trendy wedding market, or just other athletics like golf and tennis. I think that there are some cool niche opportunities there as well.
Thank you. I like golf. I think the power suit is the best for golf Because it's like, if you think of like a power lunch setting, you'd go to your power lunch and then play golf. Maybe not wear hot pink, like definitely like black or navy. I don't know, unless you want to wear hot pink, go for it. But yeah, I think, I agree. Like, I've talked to a pro shop, and they were like, yeah, that's cool. It was only when I had black. They're like, I think the women would actually want color. So yeah, I think it's definitely like an interesting market.
Question down front.
So you mentioned the Indiegogo campaign. When do you plan to start it, or why hasn't it started yet? So that's one question. And the other is, it sounds like this is a case of Britt, yourself, and you running the company right now. So have you thought about what focus you need from people you would first bring into the company?
Can you repeat? Sorry, the first part of the question was Indiegogo. Okay. So yeah, Indiegogo, I met with them. I've tried to launch with them a couple times, but I never felt ready. The reason is they want you to have an audience of 10,000 people so you can be set up for success. I finally feel confident that I have that audience now. 6 months ago, a year ago, I didn't have that audience, and the product really wasn't there. So we're planning to launch, January. I just need to get this last video shot and then have at it. We have a good PR plan for it. Just kind of playing off of the Romp Him campaign. It's like the female versus male. Female comes out with this product that's very similar. The second part is, is it just me running this right now? I've had some help along the way. I've worked with a lot of contractors. I've always been looking for a co-founder, but I could never find the right co-founder. Like, just the dynamics didn't work. And I realized I don't need a co-founder. I'm better, by myself, leading the way. But I do have 2 people that I'm working with really closely. So one, she has 12 years. She's kind of the COO right now. She's got 12 years fashion experience with big brands. And she focuses on production, timelines, all that kind of stuff that I'm bad at, all the detail-oriented, stuff. So she's great. And then Alexa is the founder, or not the founder. She's an investor in Chubby. She's a really strong mentor of mine. So we're working together. But yeah, I think the next hire would probably be, some kind of sales. I have to do sales now. I'm doing sales, but that would be helpful. IT, design, all that, pretty much did all the website and all that by myself.
I had a follow-up question for the Indiegogo, which I think is a great play. Done successfully, it makes sales, you get revenue, you get the word out and build awareness. And I think when you're partnering it with your clearly excellent marketing and branding ability and Instagram, I think that you can make that a big success. What number do you have in mind, or what number are you going to try to hit with Indiegogo, and what will you do with that money?
Right. So Romp Him, the male romper, their goal was 10K, and they just crushed it. And I kind of like that about it. I think setting a really realistic goal is smart. So I'd say there's 2 approaches. I could either do like 9K and be cheeky and then crush it, or be like, no, like, this is what I need to raise. I need to raise 500K to sustain and to grow, and just tell people like the reality of how expensive it is to produce something. So I haven't really decided. I'm leaning more towards 9K, but what do you think? I mean,
I would probably caution against really setting it at 500K, but maybe something in between, maybe 150, 200K, and then you can still aim to crush that.
okay. And the second part, sorry, what was the second part?
What are your immediate plans to do with the revenue you raise, and how you're going to capitalize on that with Indiegogo?
So I would reinvest into making new product. Don't want to spend a lot on marketing because I can pretty much do that very low budget.
Question for you back here. Yep.
I guess a two-part question. First is you said you're selling the product for $120, I think you said right now. What's your profit on that, or what's your margin on that? We know that's going to get better as you grow, but I just want to see what your margin is right now. And then second of all, you said the potential was 17 to 20-year-olds. Have you looked at going to universities and partnering with sororities nationally or anything like that? Because that may help get the brand out there quicker. So.
Thank you. So the margins are pretty healthy right now because the cost is pretty in line with what competitors' pricing is. It's about a 65% margin right now. So that's healthy, and that's why, over time I would love to bring that price down so more college students could buy it. Have I talked to sororities? I've talked to, I love that because I think, sororities have all different shapes and sizes. They're going into rush, they're wearing the same thing. Why would you wear a dress? That just doesn't even make sense. So I think that could be a really great market. I've talked to high schoolers and college students that want to sell it, so I have 10 signed up. One's at Rockhurst right now, one's at Boston University. I went to SMU, so gonna plug in there. So when the time is right, which is like now. So yeah.
We have a question in the middle.
Sir, you took some of my thoughts, but that's the exact thing. I think if I were you, honing that market, your target, would help. So for instance, if it is college students, and certainly the sorority idea is, I think, a great one, because those young people, those ladies have access to cash, even if it's not earned income. So I would start with that, and then it also, let's say you provide the deltas with, the suits, then not only do you have instant boots on the ground, but you also have some more content for all of your social media platforms. Now, you may also want to do that with your high schooler golf team with the shorter romper or whatever, but then you actually have real life customers and real life pictures of customers and feedback directly from them. So I so appreciate the gentleman's comment, and I hope that's of interest to you.
Definitely. If I can go back to college, I'm all for it.
Another question up front.
Hey there. This looks really fun, really great. It makes me think of my daughter, who's both a yoga instructor, a student at UMKC. She needs to start her practicum, and so she's looking for those clothes that will go from that active lifestyle. And I'm wondering, are you doing like pop-up shopping events, or what are your plans for getting kind of out in the community, getting this product out there so that folks can buy it, like right now?
That's great. That's awesome. I planning on doing pop-ups. Like I said, I'm bootstrapping, so unfortunately, everything takes time because I'm still designing for other companies. But yeah, I would love to do, pop-ups. We're talking to boutiques at Fortuity and Halls. I think Halls will be our first pop-up. That's not till the spring. But yeah, if I can get on college campuses, like maybe that's something I could, if you guys have connections, that would be amazing. If you know any schools that would want to do a pop-up. Because I think local colleges here is the best place to start.
Question over on your right.
With your background in prowess and advertising and social media, I'm curious what mistakes you see other startups making that you're not making.
Oh, wow, that's good. So yeah, I have consulted for like over 30 companies, ranging from like very small tech companies. I actually lived in this like hacker house in San Francisco. If you're not familiar with the hacker house, it's a bunch of nerds working on their startup, living in the same space. So it was really cool. I got to see all these really young brands and what they were doing. What are they doing wrong? I think they're not focusing on one thing. Like if they're gonna do social media, they're like everywhere in social media, but it's really hard to get traction everywhere. So I think focusing on one platform is great. So Instagram's our main platform, but our second platform is Giphy. Are you guys familiar with Giphy? So it's a GIF platform. It's kind of like YouTube. GIFs are like quick animations. And what's cool about Giphy is you can go to Giphy, go to Jomper's Giphy site, find an image you like and then share it on Facebook or Instagram or any other platform, SMS, email. So I actually started a whole different company called Gift My Brand. So I would help companies do their brand and then create gifts so they could get more traction. So I think, yeah, just focusing on like a niche and one or two channels.
Awesome. Brittany, we all want to see you succeed. So what can we as a community do to help you?
I appreciate that. I think pop-ups would be really helpful. So if you have, girls or space, girls in space. It's kind of, what I'm looking for. What else? I mean, just being here, all these questions have been so helpful, so I appreciate all the questions and feedback. It's so good to get, real feedback instead of just being in your mind all day by yourself. So yeah, I think just if you have connections in the fashion world, yeah, pop-up spaces would be great. That's kind of what I want to do next, because now that I have the samples, I'm like ready to go. So thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, guys, some real quick announcements. First, make sure we're checking into our 1 Million Cups apps and leave Brittany some feedback. That's definitely important to her. And then we're going to do Mug Club real quick. So raise your hand if you've been here 10 times or more. Okay. Put your hand down, or keep your hand up if you have not received a mug from us. Okay. Kyle's going to run one out.
Good morning. Please tell us your name and why you come to 1 Million Cups.
Good morning. My name is Clarissa Knight, and I'm the owner of Rissa's Artistic Design, and I come to get some more knowledge, marketing ideas.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Give her a round of applause. Awesome. I think we've got a couple live announcements. I think we're going to have Ben get up here and say something, and then Caitlin. Yep.
Well, first of all, thanks again very much for having me. This is a lot of fun. I really like 1 Million Cups. Even when I can't be here, I try to watch it always online. So this was very fun to get to do it in person. Britt, this is a very, very cool idea. I wish you a great deal of luck. I think you're going to be very, very successful because you really seem to have aggressive goals, but you really seem to know exactly what you're doing. So as I mentioned before, I work at the Rainier Institute at UMKC. I help run an entrepreneurial education program called eScholars. It's a 9-month program that we have 2 semesters. The first semester is getting the basics of business administration under you, the marketing, the legal, the HR, and the second half is we pair you with mentors. We have a pool of about 160 mentors from the KC area, retired and active business leaders. And we pair you with some mentors that have a specific skill set that is complementary to your business. And we get you launched and going in about 6 months. So we've got the next cohort starts, our 11th cohort actually, starts January 27th. And we are accepting applications on a rolling basis through January 14th. You can find us online at umkc.edu/entrepreneurship. There's a tab for eScholars right there, and you can apply right on the site. So if you are similarly inspired by Million Cups, if you have an idea or a business that you've been kicking around in your head, or you know someone that is and would actually like to get that launched and started, please come see us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
One last announcement. Tonight at Hotel Phillips, down in their speakeasy in the basement, they're having their second Cocktails and Conversation. And tonight it is the founder of Charlie Hustle. So he'll be there tonight to talk, and he'll network. It's $10, but that includes a cocktail. I have a feeling this one's going to sell out because it's Charlie Hustle. So you can buy a ticket online on Facebook if you just look up Cocktails and Conversations tonight at 7. And that's it. Happy holidays. We don't have a 1 Million Cups until January 10th. So don't miss us too much, but we will be back. Hope you have a safe holiday and a Happy New Year. Thanks.